Hey orchestras, good morning. This is not going to be a fancy video, but it's going to be a video that will help you with what you need to know and be able to do for today. And yeah, in my head, it's very social media-esque and like a reel and awesomeness, but ain't nobody got time for that today. So this is what we're going to do today. Orchestra style. All right, we're going to apply it instead of, it's a summary type of, what's the word? I'm going to have to edit this part out. Strategy, that's the one. It's a summary type strategy, but we're going to use it for the beginning, for sight reading. And it turns out that we've done this before, you guys. Every time I pass out a piece of music, we go through all of these steps here and learn the different things about our music, look it over, figure out who the composer is, what the tempo is, what the key signature is. And then, of course, you naturally do this part where if there's things you don't understand, you just put a question mark by it, or you circle it, or highlight it, or whatever. So we're going to do this orchestra style, the R-E-A-D-Y, ready to annotate. Okay, here we go. Wish me luck. So we are going to use this framework and apply it to a piece of music that you have already played before. Blast from the Past, Lion's Pride. And then after we go through this on Lion's Pride, you'll be able to do it on your new piece of music that you have in Schoology and hopefully will be printed. So the R means to review the text or the music. It's going to be our music. And preview the title, author, any subheadings. Look at images. This could be symbols for us. Captions could be any like Italian words, bold words, dynamics, charts. Well, the staff, music notes, you know what I mean? Like, do you have any notes that you don't understand? And diagrams. Well, let's do it. Okay, so here's Lion's Pride. And up here at the top, we see that this is the cello part. So if you play cello, make sure you have a cello part. Here's our title. And this is the subtitle. So this is actually from the World of Warcraft, Taverns of Azeroth, game soundtrack, which, I mean, you probably knew from last year. That's pretty cool that it's a game soundtrack. The person who wrote it is Jason Hayes. That's the composer. Okay, the person who wrote it is called a composer. The person who arranges it, whoops, I didn't mean to cross that out. It's kind of underlined. The person who arranged it is called Victor Lopez. He is the person who took this guy's music and made it so that middle school students can play it, and it sounds really, really awesome. Okay, now that was the R. Okay, we can also kind of take a look at this. Also, we can see that this piece is 1 page long. You'll notice that it has a double bar at the end. That's the end of the piece. The double bar signifies the end of the piece of the music. Okay, back up here. E, establish a purpose. Why are we reading? Why are we looking at this music? Duh, we want to play it, okay? When you look at your new piece of music, you want to learn how to play it and figure out what it sounds like and how to move your bow. Okay, right? And then A, asking questions. That's the part that you guys are very familiar with. What is this song about? What does it sound like? How do my notes sound? And any other questions that you would have. And it kind of applies to this part too, annotating. Like we said, figuring out what things are and what looks the same as what you know before and what you've done before and what will be different this time. So one thing we always need to do, let's see if I can zero in on this, is check our key signature, right? So this one we know is 2 sharps, and I'm hoping you can remember those 2 sharps are F sharp and C sharp. That would give us the key of D major, so you could practice a D major scale. And I'm just going to tell you, it also is B minor. That's not super important right now, but this piece kind of has a minor sound to it. I'm sure you remember. It doesn't really sound like a major key, but it sounds more like that sad type of sound. All right, then another thing to notice is check your time signature. So this time signature means that there are 3 beats in the measure, and focus is a thing, and the quarter note gets 1 beat. So the top number tells you how many beats are in your measure, and the bottom is what kind of note gets 1 beat. And then this part starts right off with a multiple measure rest. So if you know what that is, great. If you don't know what it is, you could circle it or put a question mark. Most of us know what that is already, but like circle. Oh, and by the way, we're going to mark this up. It's going to get messy looking. When you do this on your own, you're going to mark it up and make lots of marks on it. So I will give you a new clean sheet of music, and you won't have a whole bunch of things on it. But this is just to help us learn. All right, now let's pretend I can't remember what this symbol means right here. Or like this one, or this one. Okay, I'm going to pretend I don't even know what that is. I'm going to put a question mark right there. Okay, accent, yeah, I know that that's important. We can do an accent. Okay, A-C-C-E-N-T. What the heck? This curved line, that's important. All right, I'm coloring those in. Is that a tie or a slur? And what does it mean? You know, oh yeah, that means I have to count these many beats, 3 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4 basically, and goes into the next measure. Down bow. Do you know what a down bow is and what an up bow is? Okay, and here's another tie. So you're gonna go through this all the way, and you can use a pencil. I got a variety of colored pens and pencils and highlighters and things. So some students like to take, well, come on, you can get this. I'm actually one-handed. One color to do all their dynamics. So here's a mezzo piano and crescendo. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm going through each line. Oh, there's a forte. So I'll highlight my dynamics in blue. You can pick whatever colors make best sense to you, and you don't have to commit to it right now. Like I said, this is just a worksheet. Oh, look at this. And then here is a great big crescendo that I'm highlighting and making a lot bigger so that I can see that that's there. So that might be something that you do on your new sheet of music. Let's review what this thing is, because we had it last year in Lion's Pride. That is called da segno or del segno. I'm going to put del right now. S-E-G-N-O, the sign. They both have this thing that looks kind of like a little special letter S. The segno, all right? And that means when you get to a certain spot in the music, you're going to find a similar symbol like that. That's not, I mean, this is a symbol, but that's not the same as this one. So that's not it. Keep going. Keep going. Where do we see that symbol? And I would probably ask you, where do you see it? And you would see it right here. DS, that means go back to this sign and then play until you see the coda. And that coda symbol looks like this. So I am going to highlight this one yellow. So by the time I finish getting to this note right here, that means I have to go back to this measure. See that? Okay. So it's not like you go all the way back to the beginning. You go back to the sign. And your new music is going to have one of those, so you have to know how to do it. Now, oh, shoot. What color can I use? Orange. We'll use orange for the coda. So we play all these, play all the way down to here. Then we go back to number 5, and we play until we see the next direction, which says to coda. All right, so here's my to coda. There's my circle. Coda, do you remember? Means tail. All right, that's what the Italian word in English means. Now we have to find the coda. Where is the coda? Oh, I know where the coda is. It's the tail end of the piece. Okay, cool.
So once you get to the end of this measure, that means you have to zoop right down here with your eyeballs. So here, you're going to go, and then play this note and play to the end. Okay? Now I like to have it so my lines are not going right through the music. Some people draw their lines, they're like, okay, from here I go directly here, because that's what your eyes would do. I'll do that in slow motion. Okay, so some kids choose to do that on their music. And then when you would get here, you would go from here directly to this, because that's what your eyes do. Okay, you can do that if you want, that's fine. Oh, I got class coming in. Anyway, this is what it looks like to annotate a piece of music. The next piece that you're going to annotate is going to be Sahara Crossing. So take out your Sahara Crossing piece, and then I want you to annotate this and do what you can. And then what we'll do is, for our Your Thinking After Reading, what did I just read? I will leave a listening link so that you can listen to it and follow along with it. All right, that's pretty good. Okay, let's see if I can 0.5 myself. Thanks, guys. Have a great class.